The journey by tractor from the road from the highway to Tulum ruins might not be this slow, but you get the idea. If it is a hot day and you arrive or depart late, paying a 25 peso fare for 1 kilometer might be worth it. We arrived at 8 a.m. when the site opened, so it was cool and walkable without the heat. Here I am at the Tulum ruins. We came here from Playa del Carmen taking a collectivos, which took about 50 minutes. We came from 2nd Street. Anyway, after arriving, we crossed the street and took about a 10-minute walk up another road to get here. Now, here we are in the ruins of Tulum. Behind me, you can see the sea, and you will notice that in this old ruins, which is called the restos in Spanish, there are 3 walls. The only place where there is not a wall is the sea, because obviously they didn't think it would need protecting. This is the house of the cenote, so called because underneath was a cenote, which is where they got their drinking water from. As there is limescale in this whole area, water is actually underneath the surface. There's very little on the surface. And by the way, if I forgot to mention, the admission here is 70 pesos, and it's much cheaper to come yourself if you can, because the tour guides and tour operators will charge you a lot more, but it's only 70 pesos each person to get in. Now apparently these buildings are very similar to those at Chichen Itza. They are slightly different in what is called an East Coast architecture. Now originally these buildings were very, very colored, inside and outside. Behind me you see what is considered one of the more imposing and important buildings in this Tulum ruin. Again, it would have originally have been brightly colored. Now, look at the sea, it's so beautiful, but could you imagine being here 500 or 600 years ago when you were a Mayan and you were looking out to sea and you saw these strange people with these big ships looking on board? Who are these people? Are they going to come and get you? There was that kind of fear, and eventually, of course, they were the Spanish who came and conquered this area and later administered it, and of course it later became Mexico. They would have sailed from Cuba at that time when they were discovering this part of the coast and mapping it. As well as the ruins themselves, there are resting places on the trail, so you don't have to be walking all the time. You can sit down, have a sandwich or a drink. At least 1 hour to come here and have a look around, and if you want to spend any time on the beach, give yourself another half hour. You'll dry off fairly quickly. Don't come here too late because it will get very hot. Okay, this is my friend, Captain Kid. He used to be a big star on YouTube and you stopped watching him. Please don't let that happen to me, otherwise I'll be like him.
Hey.